There you are, my little pets. Welcome back to Slave Tasks number 5. First of all, Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you had a lovely time celebrating and ringing out the old and ringing in the new. Out with the old, in with the new. That is the motto behind today's Slave Tasks video. So this is Slave Task number 5, my pets. And the first task for you today is to like this video and to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And after you do that, I want you to subscribe to me on Twitter. You will have to ask to follow me there. Request it, send a request. You will also follow me on TikTok as well as on Instagram. That is Slave Tasks number 1. Now, Slave Task number 2 today is about what we talked about in Slave Task number 1, your very first Slave Task video with me. I asked you to purchase a butt plug and to start inserting it. Now, I trust, my little pets, that you have been doing that religiously and that you have been working on training your own ass to get stretched out. So, it's time. It's been a while since I did Slave Task number 1. So it's time for you to advance to a bigger size. So if you just had a 2-inch dildo butt plug, so to speak, you are now going to advance up by 1 inch to 3. If you had 3 inches, you're going to go to 4. So I want you to order your next butt plug, and you're going to follow the same protocol. So just to remind you that in Slave Task number 1, which was 6 months ago now, you were asked by me, instructed by me, to start inserting it every day for at least an hour. So I want that number to increase as well. I want you to start inserting it twice a day for an hour now. That is Slave Task number 2. Slave Task number 3. It is time for you to start keeping a slave journal. Now, for discretion's sake, you can certainly write it as a third person, which would sound something like, the slave fantasized about being at Mistress Suzanne's feet daily, instead of writing, I fantasize about being at Mistress Suzanne's feet daily. That's up to you. That depends on your life. So if you're worried about somebody finding your journal, you can write it as a third person, almost like you're writing a story. Now, this journal should be in a book that is hidden somewhere, more than likely, and you can go into that little girl mode, the little girl that I once was, where we all wanted that diary with our own little lock and key. And you will lock it, but you'll try to write in it at least once a week. It doesn't have to be daily. It's very hard to keep a daily journal. But if you can, impress me and do that. That is Slave Task number 3. Slave Task number 4. I want you to start doing at least 10 minutes, 3 times a day, of core strengthening. This will be either holding a plank, although that's very hard to do for a solid 10 minutes. It's almost impossible. You might get a minute in. Do some ab crunches. Sit-ups are good. The point is that strengthening your core, that is where your energy for your body comes from. That is the strength of your entire body, because it's the middle part. That's why it's called the core. And that's going to help you with your posture, the way you walk, even your confidence. But it's also going to give you a little bit of an outlet physically to deal with any feelings that you're having that are negative, like anxiety, depression, those types of things. So you're going to do that once again 3 times a day for 10 minutes. Work on your core. That is Slave Task number 4. And last but not least, Slave Task number 5 today is about you finding the website or review board called PERB, P-E-R-B. Now, I have a video I recently posted, and it's called Doing In-Person Sessions. In fact, the exact title on my channel here is providing in-person services in Canada. So if you haven't watched the video, you're going to watch that as part of your final task first, and then you're going to go to the perb review board. And if you've had a session with me in person or you've had one with me online, that's great. If not, and you've simply just been watching my content and it's benefited you in any shape or form, I want you to write a review about me with my name in it that's positive. If you don't have a positive review to write, then you can move on and wait for the next slave task video. But I highly doubt you've made it this far through your slave task instructions if you didn't have something positive to say about Mistress Suzanne. So that is slave task number 5. And the main purpose behind that task is also so that you can start focusing on saying positive things about people, showing appreciation to people in general in the world. So you might have just been sitting around being a fan of mine now and haven't really invested in anything, you haven't really purchased anything, you haven't even done a session with me and ever sent me a dime. So show me something to show your appreciation for what I do and how I do it. And that is slave task number 5. And on that note, my pets, I hope that you're following my instructions like a good boy, and I will hopefully be posting again shortly. I have now posted 5 slave tasks videos in a matter of 6 months. I hope you followed all your instructions and you continue to do your daily tasks and homework that I've assigned you. Happy New Year once again, my pets, and till soon.